Good evening, it's Romany Roy back again. I will be putting up photographs, as I said, tomorrow. But one of the major events that's very important in this story is, by this time I'm 13 years old, 14 years old. And my father's youngest brother, Uncle Harry, wanted to get married. So Tommy Ware was never going to let him be part of the business. So there was a meeting had with all the family. And that meeting was to determine, because Uncle Harry wanted to go and buy a house. And he had to come up with the same amount of money as his wife's father did for a deposit for a house. So a big family meeting was had by everybody, and it was decided at that meeting that, seeing that Harry, my Uncle Harry, and my Aunt Clarice had no part of the business anyway, but it was decided that one day they would inherit part of the property. Everybody listening to this is going to remember this, because in the future now it's very, very much relevant. So it was decided among the family that my Uncle Harry and my Aunt Clarice would be bought out or paid out for their share there and then. Now, a while after, Uncle Tony told me, that's Aunt Clarice's husband, that Aunt Clarice really didn't have no say in the matter. She knew her share in the business, and Uncle Harry wanted money to put down on deposit on house. So it was decided at that time that my father and Tommy, my Uncle Tommy, had to come up with the money to buy them out. So that was 15,000 from my father and 15,000 from Uncle Tommy. So eventually, when the day came, it would be known that there was no interest in the property. Personal effects, money, and stuff like that wasn't affected at all. It was only the property. So it meant that my father and his brother, Tommy Ware, owned that property between them. Now, this is a fact. I've got the paperwork to prove it. Whether or not anybody who's alive today would confirm that, I don't know. But that's how it was. So Harry was paid out, Uncle Harry was paid out, and Aunt Clarice was paid out. So as time went on now, my father's health was all right. He was back working properly, and the whole family was going on all right. the arguments with Uncle Tommy and Uncle Harry didn't stop. They kept going. Obviously, in between that time, my father's brother, Uncle Tommy Ware, he got married to Jennifer Mitchell. So yeah, that was going on, and the business was still growing at a alarming rate, really. We had skip lorries, roll on, roll off lorries, nice machines, and yeah, it was going on all right. We had another big job that we took on then, and that was to clear Heathcotes out. Now, Heathcotes were big sewing machines. I'm talking about hundreds, thousands of them. And we had everybody helping us out to get them out. And that was a big old job. And in the machines, there was a lot of cotton cloth. You used to break the alley tops off and pull the cloths out. So my mum and Aunt Jane was there doing that all the time. They had some lovely cloth, like, you know, muslin cloth. So that was a real big job. And yeah, we had lots of big jobs. So this is the beginning, really, of my real memories. I was in school one day, and in rode Uncle Harry, my father's brother. So in he come, and immediately I seen, and I thought, fuck, that's something to do with my father again. It wasn't. My poor mother, she'd had a massive stroke. So Uncle Harry's words to me was, "You've got to come home. Your mammy's had a massive stroke, and I don't know if she's going to pull through." That was the beginning of the end, really. I'm getting a bit emotional about this. Anyway, he brought me home from school. Grandfer was there, and my granny. And this is what was said. My father come home from the hospital. He had some good clothes on, like his suit. I went to give my father a hug, because he was like really upset. And the old woman said to me, "Mind his clothes, don't get his clothes dirty." That's the truth. That's what she said to me. I'll never forget it. Stayed with me. Anyway, my mother did recover, but in a bad way. In a bad way. So, she couldn't speak. She could hobble about a bit. And, but terrible. And this particular day, after she came out of hospital, there was a faith healer that came to Redruth. And she got to find out about it. How she did, I don't know. But anyway, She went to that faith healer, and by the time that evening had finished, she could speak a little bit, and she could walk a little bit. Don't ask me any more than that, but that's the truth. So, about 3-4 months later, she had another one. Another stroke. This time, oh, it's terrible. So, after I don't know how many months, because time didn't mean much to me, she had an appointment because she couldn't go on. She had mini stroke after mini stroke then. And apparently part of this valve that she had was breaking off and causing blood clots. So I couldn't go on because she would have just died anyway. So she had the opportunity to go to London and have another operation. So it was decided that that's what we would do. So off we sets in the car. Me dad and me mum. Now as it happened, my grandmother's sister, who was on my father's side, Aunt Vera, remarried and was living with a bloke, married to a man who come from London. And we had to be in London. So we set off that morning. My mother was all right, bless her, but very sick. Anyway, we set off. We gets up to Aunt Vera's, have something to eat. And my father helped my mother up the stairs. More or less carried her up the stairs and got her in the bed. And fuck me, the next morning she had a massive stroke. So, called for the ambulance. Me and my father and I were following the ambulance, going through red traffic lights and nearly getting fucking beat up with cars. And anyway, gets to the hospital now, and they finds her a bed. She's in this ward now. Now, she's gonna have a fucking massive heart operation. So how the fuck's she gonna do that? So we stayed with her all that day. Bless her heart, I can see her